my people, can I get a hello? Hey yo, welcome back to another episode of the Hello Effect Podcast with me, your host Seek, aka Mr. Hello. And before I jump into my special guests, I want to shout out to all my subscribers. Hey yo, welcome back to another episode of the Hello Effect Podcast with me, your host Seek, aka Mr. Hello. But before I jump into my special guests, I want to give a shout out to my supporters, everybody that been following, and most importantly, subscribing and listen to what I'm about to tell you. You know what I mean? We got something that's going on. We trying to reach our goal to 1K subscribers, and I'm thinking about giving a giveaway. You know what I mean? It could be money, it could be studio time, it could be fucking anything. You know what I mean? So stay tuned. But all right, without further ado, I'm gonna allow my guest to introduce himself. Let the people know your name, where you from, and what's your talent.
My name is Rico Keaton. I'm a musician, and I'm from the Bronx, New York.
All right, shout out to the boogie down Bronx, you know what I mean? Respectfully, I've been meeting a lot of different people from the Bronx, and I've been to the Bronx multiple times, you know what I mean? And I know what it is myself, but for anybody that's in a different part of the world that may not ever been to the Bronx or New York City, let them know what it's like to live in the Bronx, to walk in the Bronx, to breathe air in the Bronx.
Shit, I've seen niggas get robbed in class.
Damn, so it's rough.
I done robbed niggas, and I'm a soft-spoken nigga.
So it's so safe to say it's rough out there. It's like any other hood and stuff like that.
I feel like you gotta, you kind of just adapt to your environment type shit. Like it is rough, but no matter what it is, whether you in the like if you with your abuela and everything good, you gotta learn how to like be the good grandson, and then when you out in the streets with your niggas, you gotta learn how to be that. So
yeah,
I think
you got to defend yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, that's what's up. So it's safe to say your early on childhood was like a normal kid. You was into sports. You know what I mean? Things in that nature.
Sort of, not necessarily. Like I think growing up, I was by my dolly a lot. When I moved to the Bronx, I was with some friends who was, I wouldn't necessarily say they was gang members, but they was really on that. So it's like I was like the smart kid that went to school, but I was also ditching class and trying to holler at girls, being a class clown. But like I was always like good kid presenting. So like I would like follow them in a sense, but I was kind of like free to do whatever I wanted no matter what, because the niggas that was around me had me protected.
All right, so but you never got caught up in nothing. You never went to jail.
Nah. I don't really promote that shit. I'm just saying like that's just what it was.
I mean, some people get caught up in that. Like you said, you hang around the wrong crowd. You know what I mean? The cops come, they don't care. Oh, that's a nice guy. Now that you with them. Like you understand what I'm saying? So I'm happy you didn't get caught up in that. So how did music enter your life since sports really wasn't a thing? Let's talk about the music thing.
Shit, I say music into my life just because I was so alone. That company was music. So like I would like grow up listening to like Tupac. I would listen to J. Cole. I would listen to Kanye. Back then I was a big Eminem fan. A little bit of Drake too. But like I was just dolly type shit, and I didn't really say much. So I don't know. Music was just kind of like my friend type shit.
All right, so why was you dolly? Like, was that a reason? Was you like an only child? For context, or do you got siblings?
Nah, I got two brothers. I'm the middle child. I just think I'm growing up I was very, very, very shy. Now I'm a little shy, but like I could talk and shit. You feel me? Before it was like I was shy and I just wouldn't say nothing.
Nah, I used to be shy. That's the funny thing. I know people probably looking at my interviews and stuff now wouldn't believe that, but I was a shy kid growing up also. But I broke out that at a certain age because I was like not a class clown in a sense, but I was like the funny person in a family. Like, you know what I mean? And I still am, you know what I mean? But yeah, so music was pretty much your escape in a sense from reality. You know what I mean? Because you ain't had nobody to talk to, or you didn't want nobody to talk to, pretty much in a sense. Because you said you was dope, you wanted to be by, so you're an introvert, pretty much.
I'm like a mixture of both. Like whenever I stay by myself for too long, I get the urge to be like, yo, let me go outside real quick and talk to people. But that period takes longer than whenever I'm outside with people instantly I'm like, bro, I just want to like niggas need to shut the fuck up and like I need to go back to my crib, bro. Like
Now I get it. Like you tolerate people to a certain extent. Like damn, I had too much. Nah, I ain't seeing Miguel. I ain't gonna see you in 2 days and shit. You getting on my nerves and shit.
nah,
Like that.
that ass.
All right, so a person, I feel like a person that's being shy would never tell nobody about their music talents or anything. Was that you?
Yeah, again, it's like yeah, no, cause like yeah, I was shy, but I'm confident though. Like I'm more shy in a sense where it's like I'm just reserved. Like not shy from a sense where it's like damn, I wonder how the fuck they gonna perceive me. Like I don't give a fuck how niggas perceive me. Just more so where it's like my energy levels is just very mellow, very calm, and like I don't necessarily feel the need to just go all out and talk. You know what I mean? So growing up, like I used to always tell people like, yeah, I'm gonna be a musician, this and this and that. But by the time I was like mid adolescence up until like very, very, very early adulthood, like right before I went to college type shit, the idea of music went to the back of my head and I started focusing a lot on academics because I was living in the hood and I started to see like niggas either get locked up, niggas getting killed, or niggas getting addicted to drugs. So it was like I kind of used college to get away from all that shit. And like I didn't even necessarily work on music at all. It was like in between college where I was like, nah, I'm about to take music seriously.
All right, so just for context, what was you studying in college? You go to college for?
I went to college for psychology. Got my bachelor's. I graduated like a year early type shit.
Oh, that's what's up. Congratulations.
I was on my way to get that whole doctorate shit, but it was something about music I couldn't.
Hold on, so you pretty much put a pause on getting that to pursue music?
Yeah, I was in a program where they pretty much help you get your master's and a doctorate in like a joint program. It was through a program called the McNair Scholar. I was what you would call a McNair Scholar, and it was like helping me find like opportunities to do so. But I was like, nah. I found myself like just writing.
But what was it though? It had to be like a point where it's like, cause I'm pretty sure I don't know like your family background. I don't know if your moms or who was like raising you and stuff like that. Was they like, nah, hell no, like better because like you got to think about it. Like the elders feel like music and sports and all that shit is nonsense. Like you know what I mean? They want you to really have a real backup plan just in case that shit don't work. Was there anybody in your life saying that?
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't grow up fully with my mom, but my mom never was like, yo, don't do music. Like she to this day, like she always be like, yeah, keep doing music. I don't even necessarily think nobody was pressuring me to do school either way. Like my cousins wasn't doing school and going hard. like niggas around me was not doing nothing. Like niggas was not trying to like violate niggas, but like nobody had like these aspirations of like, yo, I'm about to get straight A's. I think it was really my competitive nature, and I'm just like naturally the type of person where like you put me in an environment to learn, I'm gonna learn.
See
you
that
I'm gonna talk shit and like be the class clown, and I might get in trouble here and there, but I'm still gonna learn type shit.
Yeah, see that's my point though. It's like them seeing that and you speaking that, they probably seeing that like hell no. You your cousins don't do that shit, but you could be the first family person to do that shit. So stop the music. But let's get back to the music. I'm not saying not do the music, and I want to shout out to your mother for telling you to follow your dreams because that's very important too. I feel like we take that away from our kids or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'd be like, hell no. If that's something you truly passionate about, I tell my kids, I got kids. If you passionate about it, you gonna put as much as hard work like you do in school. Yeah, go ahead and do that. But if you're not, you're gonna play around with this shit. Take your ass to school. You know what I mean? All right. So shout out to mom. So now that you said fuck it, I'm gonna get locked in with this music. What happened? Tell us about that part of your life.
Shit.
Like after you, like I ain't doing the college thing. I'm doing this music shit.
It's crazy because I technically graduated a year early, but nobody knew I graduated a year early. So when that first year that I my last year that people thought I was going to college for, I kind of like used that year as like a way to like make a mixtape. So while people thought I was on classes and going to school and doing all this extra shit and doing homework, I was really in my room writing raps and shit. So whole time niggas was like, yo, this nigga still in college. Nah, nigga, I'm working on this mixtape. So what it was is I think by junior year, or like what I would consider my junior year, I was in a relationship, we broke up, whatever. And I think I was doing research in the summertime where they had me on campus away from my school and away from my home. So I was like kind of like dolly type shit because everybody was out doing whatever they had to do in the summertime while I was doing research. But that alone time plus that breakup kind of like sparked something in me where like music became the first thing where I was able to use as an outlet. So that just continuously doing that kind of like re-sparked it in my brain where it's like, nah, like what am I really doing? Like I'm trying to make music for real. So I think that experience is what made me be like, nah, fuck everything.
All right, so you said the breakup and other things, you know what I mean, really inspired the mixtape and stuff like that. So was that your first project?
Yeah, that was my first project. That was it was really just on some like writing exercise shit. Just to kind of like get back into it. But I just naturally started just talking about life and what was going on. So it became a cohesive project because of the things that I was going through. But it was really just supposed to be like, let me just make some songs together, just practice and like really do this shit. Because before, I was writing and shit, but like I never was like looking at it from the perspective of an artist. I was just like doing it just on some whatever.
Yeah, so how did it get perceived? Like, or did you really care how it got perceived since it was your first thing?
I mean, whenever I dropped it, I thought I was gonna be famous. That I ain't gonna lie, looking back on it, I probably don't listen to it that much. There is one song that I perform to this day. It's called "It's Complicated." That's usually the crowd favorite, no matter if it's in front of a familiar audience or a newer audience or whatever. No matter what crowd it is, too, whether you're a 12-year-old, 22-year-old, or even a 42-year-old, like everybody loves that song, and that was on my first mixtape. And I got like some songs on there that still go, still do well depending on who's listening to it. But I had dropped the album last year. I think that one is probably my most proud work. And even then, I could see where I could do better. But
All right, let's talk about what you said. The song's called "It's Complicated."
yeah, that song, yeah.
What's that song about, and why you think people love it so much? And what does it mean to you? Because they got to mean something to you.
Yeah, so that song is like a relationship type of song, but it was like I was listening to J. Cole and Kendrick heavy, and like what they used to do, or what I used to study from them was that they used to give you life shit, but then like kind of like sprinkle bars in there where it's like I'm still the shit, I'm still the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like a weird blend of like I'm gonna tell you a story about something real that's going on, but also like throwing some lines just to like be braggadocious a little bit. And so like I tried my hand at that where it was like the first verse alone is literally just a story about a girl that I was talking to for a long period of time, and she was in like an abusive relationship or whatever. And so I spoke about that and how like she would like talk to me whenever they was on a break, things of that nature, and it got complicated. You feel me? So that first verse is strictly about that, but that second verse is kind of like I'm sprinkling that story in there, but at the same time I'm also like coming from the perspective where it's like the first line is, I'm just a good kid in the mad city. This isn't Compton, but was really common. Gunshots in my area. Then you hear the sirens. A body song, and his mother finds him. But it's like, just now I'm painting a whole different type of story, and like still giving you that braggadocious, but I'm blah blah. But then it's like it's complicated at the end.
All right, and what year was that project released?
Shit, I don't even know to be
All right,
real. Like 2022, I don't know.
I mean 2022. That's like what being 2025, 3 years ago.
Yeah, something like it was. It could have been. It could have been later than I don't even remember.
All right, so let's talk about from then and now, like your growth, like you know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure your voice. I don't know if your voice changed. I don't know if your style changed.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about your growth from then and now, from that project to the one you
Yeah.
released last year?
So that project was primarily off of me finding beats on YouTube, then going into the next project, which is called When I Lost a Feeling. Well, the first project was strictly rap. Like I was not singing, I wasn't doing nothing. It was just strictly rap.
Okay.
That second project, which I would consider like an album, probably R&B centric, to be honest. Where like I'm actually doing a lot of R&B, a lot of high pitched vocals, like inflections, things of that nature. And I also produce a lot of that stuff as well. And like it went from like being like this old school boom bap type of style to like this ambient, dark R&B, jazz, hip hop centric kind of thing. Now I think I'm at a point where I'm being a little bit more experimental and like I'm allowing myself to not only make music whether I'm in like a chill mood, but make music when I'm in a introspective mood, a deep mood, a vibey mood. And I think that's why my music right now kind of feels like it's all over the place, but that's because I'm expressing it as a human being going through real shit. Whereas before it was like, nah, let me just make music that's emotional and that's it. And it's like I do that, but it's like I started to realize that like sometimes people just want to chill and just vibe.
Yeah, so this brings me back to what you said in the introduction. You know what I mean? I asked you to let them know what's your talent. You said an artist. I understand now because, like you said, your first project was like boom back. Now you get into these different sounds and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah.
was there any type of music influences from people? I know you mentioned Kendrick and J. Cole, obviously, but let's talk about like R&B, jazz. Was that some of like your folks when you was growing up playing like some of their music that probably inspired some of you? Because I feel like whoever started before us, we got some of their sauce from them. You know what I mean? Even
Yeah.
though they don't get their flowers. So
Yeah.
was there anything like that, like for your music?
I wouldn't necessarily say the sound of the music. Like, well, yeah, but not all the way. In my household, it was a lot of. It was either Spanish music because whenever I lived with my grandma, it was just straight Spanish music and Spanish church music. That's the difference from like black church music.
I don't even
I'm
know.
not even listen. I don't listen to
I
that
don't even know what
Spanish church
that. I
music.
never heard. I gotta Google that. Spanish
Bro,
church music. Like,
I'm not gonna lie respectfully. Like, I'm not turning that on. But it is some salsa in there. There's some bachata
Okay,
in there.
okay.
But and but my I guess in totality it was just soulful and meaningful music, and I think that is probably what inspired me the most, and also just me being more of a intentional person. Like I like to listen to music with intent instead of just listening to music just like I'm not doing drugs nothing like that, so I'm not just doing that. So
Yeah.
I like to listen to music that reflects who I am as a person, and I think that alone kind of like influences my music to be more meaningful and thoughtful and have a lot of soul to it. In terms of sonically, I would say my future self would probably look back and be like Drake, but right now I don't want to admit that. You
Yeah,
feel me?
yeah, yeah.
J. Cole for sure, for sure. Like when I first started rapping, like I was literally either trying to mimic this nigga or trying to outdo him. And I think over time you start to realize like don't try to outdo these niggas, don't try to be these niggas. Like just be
Be
you. And
yourself. Yeah,
exactly.
respectfully, respectfully. All right, so how do how would you? I don't want to put you in a box, respectfully.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna allow you to answer this question. How would you describe your sound, being that you ain't just in one lane? You know what I mean? So if you could explain, how would you describe your sound coming from you?
I would say for me, I would just say it's soul. Like
Okay.
the reason why I wouldn't necessarily label as like neo soul or like a Erica Badu or like whatever modern soul artist you want to put on it, where it's like R&B centric. I just think everything just comes from a point of like I need to express it, and I think that's why everything sounds so differently because what I need to express may change on the day to day.
All right, so let's talk about how do you like prepare like your music videos? Because I feel like you put a lot of thought into that too. Like I feel like you really go with creative design. You got like a backing for that, or that's just something that God gave you?
In terms of the I'll give you the whole breakdown. So I just dropped a music video called "Could Have Been You." It's more of like a R&B slash pop slash dance record type shit where like I actually brought dancers on the music video and like had them dancing. I'm actually about to display this music video next week on Friday, so shout out to that. But I would say what I did for that music video, I had a whole treatment that I wrote, and like I put together like a presentation that I usually give to my videographer. He usually just shoots it and edits it, but like I come up with the entire concept, the entire second by second what I need to be seen, how I need it to be edited, and like I just had this whole thing where it's like I had the props included, I had the contact information for everybody that I wanted involved, I had the shot listing, I had the fashion listing, I had the equipment that we would need to get, I had the locations, I had how much it would cost, I had everything like written down to the T, and I usually just give that to my videographer, and I'll be like, yo, this is what we gonna do on this day, just be available, and we just locked it in.
All right. Yeah, so I feel like that's dope as an artist to be able to have like everything that you want, that you see, your own vision. But let's talk about how much it costs to be an indie artist. You know what I mean? Because we all dream big and all see things our way. But once we get that price tag, and if we can't afford it in reality,
Yeah.
like, so let's talk about that. Like, has it been any time where you had big visuals, but you just couldn't afford it, or you figure out a way?
I think for the most part, we usually try to figure it out. It might not be on the same scale as like a larger corporation, but we try to figure it out. Like the more you get into this artistic career, you start to realize that there's a lot of people who do probably better than everybody else who have money, and they don't even like complain about shit. They just get to it. They find a way. Like I've seen people. Like just the other day, like I seen somebody shoot. They didn't have a dolly. A dolly is like the thing that you use that you put on the camera to like move around and shit. They didn't have a dolly, so they used their grandma's shopping cart. And it's like, what? Like I remember, like even with me and some of my friends, and whenever we shoot videos, like I remember we were trying to do this alien shit where it was like an alien theme kind of like film to go along with a song in this pro project, yada yada yada. And like we didn't have none of that shit, but we fucking bought like a $10 like toy, a UFO toy. We lit it up a certain way. We bought like $2 lights, and then we like changed the frame rate of the camera to make it look like it's, you know, spacey and shit. And then we like put like what's the like boiled water and shit like that to make it look steamy and like it's smoke. Like
So
you just find shit to do.
Yeah, so pretty much don't let money stop you from living your dream. Like figure out different solutions. Just because you can't get it a certain way is alternate solutions, pretty much. All right, so have you ever had not having support like make you want to give up and stop doing it? Or any if it wasn't support, any other thing that made you want to stop doing music?
Probably the only two things that has ever made me feel that way is not necessarily the support, more so just like creative blocks. Like I can get on like my entire life is predicated on like me creating shit. So like anytime I feel like I can't create, bro, that shit, I get aggravated, I get depressed, I don't know what to do in my life, I lose meaning. I start talking to God more. Like it's just, yo,
I mean, ain't nothing wrong with talking to God. You know what I mean? Talk to him as much as you
No, listen, man, I be trying to go to church, but you feel me? But you know, you go a little bit more to God when you start.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
But so yeah, that I would say that is probably the most impactful part. But yeah, there's times where like I'll put my all into some shit, and it's like nobody give a fuck. It's like, damn, nigga, like I know this shit is fire.
Yeah,
nigga. Like, I know it is.
But you don't got that one person that you could go to and it's like if they tell you like, nah, that shit fire, or they be like, nah, change it. Because they gotta be, I feel like we gotta have that one person that don't give a fuck if how much they love you. They gonna give you their honest opinion. Like, nah, that shit, you could go harder than that. Or nah, that shit fire. You got that one type of person?
There's a few people who would tell me that.
Shout them out, man. Show them love.
I mean, my boy Dennis, he's
Dennis?
Yeah, he's very like big on hip hop.
Okay.
My friend Chris, he's my videographer. He will let me know like,
Chris?
nah, I'm not fucking with that. My friend Ari, she's a singer. She wouldn't necessarily say it's trash, but she would probably be like, oh, you could probably do this better.
I mean, yeah, we don't want to be harsh. I feel like if somebody say somebody shit trash, that's harsh though. I'm gonna be honest. Like, cause it's like, yo, like, damn, it's trash. We heard trash shit before. Like, and my shit down there, that's crazy. But shout out to her too, you know what I mean, for even giving you some type of feedback, because I feel like when it comes to support, we initially want to go to our loved ones first. You know what I mean? And I feel like we gotta stop going that route. You know what I mean? Go to somebody that actually has a passion for something. It don't have to be music, because I feel like people that have passions, we share the same goals. Like, you know what I mean? Same emotions. Because it's like, yo, like how you said, I want my shit to be this way. Like, I know my shit hot. Like, you know what I mean? So that's what's up. All right, so let's talk about now. Like, if we could talk about from 2025, 5 years for now, where do you see yourself?
On tour, I definitely see myself on tour. Hopefully, I get the creative inspiration to drop a lot more projects. Hopefully, my singing lessons, you know, come in handy, and I get to make a lot more R&B and like evolve more as an artist, do some alternative work as well. I see my clothing line expanding to like different schools and shit, where like I'm like a chief designer for a whole bunch of schools. I could see my platform called Slum Children to be way larger than it is, and like do festivals not only for me to be performing in, but like for other artists to like give them opportunities and commit to workshops where like people are learning different goals and shit and skills that they probably can't really learn elsewhere. What else I see? I see me modeling. I'm trying to model for somebody. I don't know, but throw me on. Maybe New Balance. Hit me up. What else? Shit, I got a lot of plans. And then shit. And then 5 years from now, man, hopefully I got me I stay with my significant other and we locked in.
All right, nah, that's what's up. That's definitely some dope goals. You know what I mean? Like to have 5 years from now. And you said you have a clothing line.
Yeah.
So what was the inspiration about the clothing? Like, I know it coincide with being an artist and stuff like that, but was it like more for you? Like, do you love like creating fashion as much as you love music?
Sometimes I get that burst of inspiration to just create some like cool shit, or like if I see somebody that's wearing some fire shit, I'm like, damn, now I gotta like outdo this nigga designer and just go crazy. I get like that competitive urge. But nonetheless, like I could create a whole bunch of art outside of music, and like I get like cool, I get happy and shit. But whenever I create a good song that I fuck with, I get like peace, like not even necessarily like happiness. It's just like, yo, finally, nigga, like you feel me? Like I finally made something fire again. Cause it's like being in the studio, it's a lot of like just throwing shit at the what's that shit called? The fucking, you throwing
the bullseye.
The bullseye is like you just throwing that
yeah,
shit, and it's like
yeah,
you hoping that it land. And it's like most times it probably don't land. Like I mean, I don't know about for other artists, but for me, like I'm in that studio like making like songs and songs and songs, and like shit 7 times out of 10, like that shit don't even reach past the fucking that first session of me just creating a demo. And it's because it takes a lot of time. At least for me, it takes time.
Nah, man, your time, you working on your own time. And I don't like people who rush, you know what I mean? Because I feel like art is not rushed, you know what I mean? You think when people are creating like paints and stuff like that, they trying to do that shit in one day? Hell no, that shit take hours and hours.
That shit take months.
So I want to say, has anybody reaching out to you like for any opportunities, big or small, any features, any companies want to sponsor you, like?
Not necessarily the sponsor yet, but yeah, a lot of people have been reaching out to me to perform. I got a show in PA on Saturday, and then on Friday I have a music video display where I'm gonna be pretty much competing with other artists for music videos. It's like a music video versus other music videos type of scenario. Whoever wins gets to perform it live in front of like a big crowd and shit. So that's something I got going on Friday. And then like past 2 weeks I had like 3 shows where people just reaching out to me. Some of it is just off of like mutual friends where it's like, yo, I'm throwing the show, like I want you to be in it. And then some of it is like, yo, I heard your name, and it's like I seen you got a band and shit, so let me like put you on the shit. So yeah, and in terms of opportunities for the clothing, like I've been I designed a few stuff for a school that I'm currently affiliated with, and I got some meetings with other schools to try to like bring different alternatives to like their fashion and shit and their uniforms.
All right, that's fire. All right, so I got a few more questions before we wrap this interview up. So you said how did you get involved? What made you get involved with like kids and stuff like that, like helping the kids and stuff like that?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's like a natural inclination for like the average person to just be like, I want to help out the next generation.
I don't really see that, especially with the youth, because I don't know your age, but you're younger than me. I don't really see that, like, especially when they starting up, especially when they building their thing, want to involve, the youth, so that's dope,
Well, I guess like there's a natural inclination for me to just like help people in general, but I would even say like I'm from the hood, like niggas ain't have shit. Like I had to wear the same jeans and the same shirt like 3 times in 1 week. Like I had to, and then try to like change the shirt with the different jeans to make it seem like it's a different outfit. And it's like, nigga, you wore that Monday, but nigga, it's Tuesday though. Like stop breaking up old shit. You feel me? Like, you feel me? And it's like I laugh about it now, but like growing up, that shit is embarrassing. Nigga, that you see somebody like mind you, you see somebody that in the same class as you, probably in a like similar neighborhood type shit, but these niggas is wearing. Y'all remember when Nike Elite socks used to be like a status of fucking wealth, bro?
Yeah.
Like, niggas used to wear the Nike Elite socks with the Nike slides, and you just like, damn, yo, this nigga dripped out.
Yeah.
So like, growing up and seeing that shit, like that's what really started making me like draw clothes, because it's like, damn, I can't afford this jacket, but I'm gonna draw one.
Nah,
And it's
that's fire. But I do want to say, continue doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? That's very inspirational. You know what I mean? Hopefully, somebody that's young will see it and want to do the same. But before we get up out of here, just let them know where they can follow you and support you at. I don't know if you got a website.
Yeah, for sure. You can follow me on socials at Rico.Keaton. That should also be my YouTube. That should also be my Instagram, my TikTok, all that extra stuff. And then for my website, you could search up slumchildren.net. And if you want to get specific, /child is going to show you the clothing, or slumchildren.net /Isaiah Keaton is going to show you my full page. It's going to show you from the acting to the modeling to the music to the clothing to everything that I do, and also the shows that I got coming up.
All right, that's what's up. That's fire. You know what I mean? Anybody that's watching this episode, make sure you tap into him. You know what I mean? I'm always showing love and support, you know what I mean? Because I like his music, you know what I mean? He got his own style, and I feel like it's soulful also, you know what I mean? So continue to do what you do. Continue to be great, you know what I mean? Make sure y'all like, follow, subscribe. And if you're an artist out there that want to be seen and heard, that want to be on this couch, being interviewed, make sure, number one, you hit the subscribe button, you hit the follow button, you send me a DM, or reach me at the Hello Effect Podcast at gmail.com. Don't miss out on this interview. Hello.